Hi guys, pattern-collections.com is where you want to be to find the next pattern. It's called Periwinkle, and it's a ribbon type pattern. You're going to start with a line, and then on that line you're going to draw a row of scrolls like this, like little snails going in a row. And then next, inside right here where this little tail is, we're going to fill in with a little triangle and fill that in, right? And then here we're going to make this little arch right there to make like a nautilus shell. And then we're going to go with little stripies all the way around. And then when we get to here, we're going to make this one extra little bump there. And then you can fill that in or whatever you want to do there. And here in the sample they've got it with some feathering, some other things down here. But that's the main pattern right there. Shouldn't be too difficult, I'm hoping. I'm going to do it on a bookmark, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to do it on a black with white pen, or if I want to do it on a color. I picked orange. That's very Halloween-like, but that wasn't my intention. Let me think. I'm going to go with the black. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the black. And we'll do, just going to draw it with a white pen. So, I want to decide, do I want, I've got a funky end on this black paper. Where's my scissors? Where'd my scissors go? There they are. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. It's a little wide anyway for a bookmark, and it's got a funky end. Oh, let me turn on my light so you guys can see better. But see, it's got a funky end on this paper. It kind of got damaged in some way. I'm just going to kind of make this a little skinnier anyways, and just trim that off. There. That's better. That's a more better bookmark size for me, personally. And it's going to be one of the few ones where I think I'm going to go all the way to the end. And since I'm going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and grab a scrap piece of paper to put under it so that I can not write on my background paper. So I'm going to go ahead and just do, I'm going to do it about here. And I'm going to go, let's get the pen started. I could use a straight edge to make this more straight, but I don't care. And then I want to make a spiral that comes like that. Just make sure when you're drawing with your white pen that you don't push too hard, because that will make a weird thing with your pen. It won't release the ink nicely. And occasionally you may have to clean off the tip of it, because it does tend to get a little blob on the end. And sometimes it stops writing. You'll have to scribble on a scrap piece of paper. This one's got a really thick tip to it also, so I've got to remember that I can't be as close as sometimes. Okay, so I've got a row of scrolls. Now, I want to do this little triangle, and right in here I want to fill that in. And remember not to put your hand in the wet ink. It takes a bit to dry, especially if you're going to do something like filling in. I have to remember not to put my hand in that, because that little puddle is going to be quite wet. Okay. Next is that little swoop, and I'm going to turn it around so that I'm not putting my hand in that wet ink. So it's going to go from here up like that, right? It's got that little swoop to make it like a shell. Like that. Perfect. And then we're going to go around like this. Till it's kind of toward the middle like that. Not all the way in, but kind of like that. Let me zoom you in a little bit. Something like that. So should I do one of my questions? I guess I should, huh? Where were we at with questions? I've got my bookmark in here. I think we're over here. If you could be sculpted by any artist in history, who would you choose? Which artist would I want to sculpt me? Well, that's an interesting being as how I don't know a whole lot of sculptors. It immediately comes to mind, you know, like Michelangelo, the classic sculptor, but I'm not sure if that's what I would want. I would actually want, I think I would prefer to be memorialized in a bronze sculpture, but I don't know any bronze sculpting artists. So that's a tough question. Let's move on. If you were to have your entire wardrobe designed for you by a single clothing designer for the rest of your life, who would you select? Interesting question, because I don't follow clothing designers. I don't know. I honestly, I'm not that kind of person who follows trends. Okay, this last bit goes like, I'm trying to think how it goes without, so I need to put it this way so I can see one. I'm trying not to put my hand in all that ink. Goes kind of this way, like a mohawk. Okay, so now I can do the rest of them this way, where my hand is out of the ink. Fashion designer, fashion designer. Gosh. I don't know. Who's a designer that designs blue jeans and t-shirts? Because that's me. I really don't know. All the ones that the names that I know of, that I would recognize, you know, Valentino, Gucci, you know, that kind of thing. Those clothes don't interest me. So I am not sure. They did that, and in this one they did this. So I'm going to do that as well. And this needs to be thicker. Ooh, almost too much. Okay. So fill that in there, this in here, and do some fat mohawk thing like that. So I can't really answer that question because I don't know designers. Maybe I could Google it. Where's my phone? Current fashion designers. Let's see. See, there's Armani, Valentino, Lauren, from Furstenberg, Chanel. I don't think I like any of those. Maybe Vera Wang. I have seen stuff from Vera Wang that I really like. I wonder if there are images of her stuff in this. I'm not getting any good pictures. Vera Wang's fashions. Images. Not the weirdo runway stuff, but the Simply Vera stuff on, like, if you look at, yeah, I would wear that stuff. All right, Vera Wang. We'll go with Vera Wang. I like her Simply Vera stuff. Okay, I've answered the question. Good enough. Close all. Okay. If you were to be stranded forever on a desert island and could only have one book to read, which one would you want? For me personally, that's fairly simple. That would be the Bible. There's all sorts of interesting stories in the Bible. Besides some good life lessons. Next, one last thing. If you could say one sentence to the current Pope, what would it be? One sentence. Well, I don't know much about the Pope. But with all the scandals and everything in the Catholic Church, I would say hold your priests accountable. I think that's what I would say. The business of covering up just so the church doesn't look bad. You know what? It's too late. The church already looks bad. So now you need to hold them all accountable. Do I believe that people who are in the church or a church are better than anybody else? No, I don't. Do I believe that our faith can hold us together in tough times? Absolutely. But do I believe we're better? No. No. Matter of fact, we may be worse because we recognize our faults and we continue to still do them anyway. I think that's the nature of humans, that you know, you can recognize the things you do wrong and then still not be able to stop doing the wrong things. And that's very disheartening as a human being. You do what you don't want to do. Even I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Paul in the Bible says, you know, I continue to do what I don't want to do. And I find that to be kind of very inspirational, and I know I'm going off the rails here. I'm doing another one of those because I want to fill that space. I think it's feeling a little empty, so I'm going to just do another one of these little mohawky things. But yeah, he says, you know, I continue to do what I don't want to do. I know it's wrong, but I continue to do stuff that's wrong. And while I'm doing wrong things, I know it's wrong, and I still do it. And that's the nature of humans, because we are not perfect. So it gives me hope that I'm worthy of saving if the main figures, those who Jesus trusted, if they struggle, then it's okay if I struggle. And, you know, we're all strugglers. But that doesn't mean shouldn't be held accountable. And that's where I think I would say, yep, you need to hold them dudes accountable. I'm not too sure what I'm doing here. I just feel like I want to fill that space. It's feeling a little blank. Like that. I think that looks good. I want a dot in here. Yep. It wants a dot. I'm good with that. Alright, so here's the end of this one. Didn't mean to get preachy on you guys, but it was the question. You guys know that, you know, part of this drawing process is sort of a stream of consciousness, and whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth, and I share it with you guys, and whether you agree or disagree, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to follow what I say. You can turn off the sound for all I care. I'm just drawing and enjoying myself and having a good day, and I can move this now and put it on the pink piece of paper. It would look better. Oop, wrong direction. All the way out so you can see the whole thing. There we go. Alright, that's Periwinkle. Tomorrow we're going to, or next time we're going to do Primp. And we'll see how that goes. And I will see you on the next one. Do something nice for someone today, whether it's in person or online. And we're going to make the world a better place. We're going to get through this one day at a time. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.